The soft hum of conversation and the clinking of fine dinnerware surrounded us as we settled into the intimate alcove of L'Etoile, a quaint restaurant tucked away in a forgotten corner of the city. Our table, draped in a pristine white cloth and adorned with a single flickering candle, was an oasis of romance in the bustling room. It was our 5th anniversary, and everything was meticulously planned to celebrate our half-decade of wedded bliss. "Marianne, you look beautiful tonight," I said, raising my glass to toast. She smiled, her eyes twinkling in the candlelight. "Thank you, David. And you're as handsome as ever." Her voice carried the soft, melodic tone that had first drawn me to her. As we sipped our wine, a sense of contentment settled over me. The evening promised to be perfect, with no detail left unattended. The chef had prepared a special menu just for us, featuring Marianne's favorites. The violinist, understanding the assignment, played a sweet serenade that seemed composed solely for our enjoyment. Yet, as the night wore on, a subtle shift occurred. Marianne's gaze kept darting to her lap, her fingers tapping swiftly under the table. The glow of her phone screen cast a faint light on her focused face. My heart sank a little with each secretive glance she stole. "Everything okay with work?" I asked, trying to sound casual. She flinched slightly, her smile a tad too quick as she slipped the phone away. "Oh, it's nothing. Just checking in on a small issue at the office." The tension was palpable, and though I tried to steer our conversation towards happier topics, the image of her sneaking texts gnawed at me. As dessert arrived, a decadent chocolate mousse, my patience finally snapped. A sharp surge of annoyance overtook my senses. Reaching across the table, I snatched the phone from her hands. "David! What are you doing?" Marianne's voice rose in a mix of shock and indignation. "I'm tired of competing with your phone tonight," I said, my voice harsher than intended. I was about to power the device off when the screen lit up with a new message, displaying a photo that stopped me cold. It was Marianne, unmistakably her, in a bizarre red room filled with chains. She was naked, astride a man whose face was turned away. The caption beneath the photo was like a punch to the gut, "I want to do it again, Nemesis." Marianne's face drained of color as she reached for the phone, her expression a mix of horror and desperation. "David, let me explain." "Explain?" My voice broke, the pain manifesting not just in my heart but in my entire being. I stood abruptly, the chair scraping loudly against the floor. Around us, the murmur of the restaurant seemed to fall silent, the air thick with my betrayal. "Who is Nemesis?" I demanded, though a part of me wasn't sure I wanted to know. "It's not what you think, David. Please, let's talk about this at home." But there would be no calm discussion, no rational conversation to soothe the searing betrayal. In a public spectacle that would surely become the talk of the town, I declared the end of what had once been a loving relationship. My voice was cold, devoid of the warmth it once held for her. "We're done, Marianne. I want a divorce." The finality of my words echoed in my ears as I left her there, surrounded by the remnants of what was supposed to be a celebration of our love. I walked out into the chilly night, the image of Marianne in that red room burned into my memory, marking the end of our marriage and the beginning of my quest for retribution. As I disappeared into the darkness, I knew one thing for certain: Marianne and I would never see each other again. The crisp night air bites at my skin as I stride away from L'Etoile, each step echoing my turbulent emotions. My mind races, replaying the evening's shocking revelation over and over. I feel a mixture of anger, betrayal, and an unsettling thrill at the unknown path ahead. I don't get far before my phone vibrates in my pocket. I consider ignoring it, assuming it's Marianne, but the caller ID shows my sister's name, Anna. I halt under the dim glow of a street lamp and answer. "David? I saw your location at L'Etoile. Is everything okay?" "It's late." Anna's voice is laced with concern. "No, everything's not okay. It's over with Marianne." "I can't talk about it now, Anna." "I'll call you tomorrow," I managed to say, my voice strained. Before Anna can respond, I end the call and shove the phone back into my pocket. I need to clear my head, and the only way is to keep moving. As I walk, a plan begins to form. If Marianne is hiding secrets, then I need to uncover them all. The next morning, after a restless night, I find myself outside a small, nondescript building in the industrial part of town. This is the address linked to the unknown number from Marianne's phone. The building looks abandoned, windows boarded up, and the paint peeling. It's early, and the streets are deserted. I approach the entrance cautiously. Inside, the air is musty and the only light comes from cracks in the boarded-up windows. I'm not alone. A figure emerges from the shadows, a large man with a scar running down his left cheek. "Can I help you?" he asks, his voice deep and grating. "I'm looking for information about someone who might frequent this place." "Goes by the name Nemesis?" I keep my tone neutral, trying not to provoke the man. He eyes me suspiciously. "Don't know anyone by that name." "You shouldn't be here." "I just need some information." "I can pay." I pull out a wad of cash, hoping it will loosen his tongue. The man looks at the money, then back at me. "Follow me." He leads me through a labyrinth of corridors to a back room. The room is filled with computer screens, cables, and a faint smell of cigarette smoke. Another man, younger and wiry, sits in front of the screens, typing rapidly. This is Joey. He knows things. "But it'll cost you more than what you got there," the scarred man says, nodding at my cash. I nod, agreeing to their terms. Joey stops typing and turns to face me. "What do you want to know?" "I need everything on a phone number and any connections to a name, Nemesis." I hand him a piece of paper with the details. Joey's fingers fly over the keyboard as he starts his search. Minutes tick by, each second stretching out. Finally, he turns the screen toward me. "Got something." "This Nemesis?" "Not a person. It's a place. An underground club known for, let's just say, extreme tastes." "Your number?" "Registered to one of the club's VIPs." My heart sinks as I process the information. Marianne's involvement is deeper than a simple affair. "Where is this club?" I ask, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "Not far, but it's invitation only." "You're playing with fire, man," Joey warns, but he scribbles down the address. Armed with this new information, I leave the building. My mission is clear. I will infiltrate this club, Nemesis, and uncover the truth about Marianne's double life. Whatever it takes, I'm determined to bring her secrets into the light. The address Joey gave me leads to an unassuming warehouse on the outskirts of town, the kind of place you'd drive by without a second glance. It's late, and the area is deserted, with only the occasional flicker of streetlights breaking the darkness. The warehouse itself is fortified, with a solid steel door and no windows at site level. I park my car a block away and approach on foot, my heart thumping in my chest with a mix of dread and adrenaline. The plain exterior of the building belies the secrets I know it holds. I reach into my pocket, feeling the fake ID and invitation Joey managed to procure for me. It's my ticket into Nemesis. As I near the entrance, a burly bouncer steps out of the shadows. His bulk is intimidating, and his eyes scan me with suspicion. "Invitation?" His voice is a low rumble, barely audible over the distant hum of city life. I hand over the invitation, holding my breath as he inspects it under a small flashlight. After a moment that feels like an eternity, he nods and steps aside, motioning for me to enter. The inside of the warehouse is a stark contrast to its nondescript exterior. Dim red lights cast long shadows, and the air is thick with a mix of incense and something sharper, metallic. The sound of soft, eerie music filters through the space, setting a chilling ambience. I'm led down a corridor and into the main area of the club, which is alive with activity. People clad in various exotic and provocative outfits mingle around, some dancing to the haunting melody, others engaged in more intimate, secretive conversations. Chains and ropes dangle from the high ceiling, and the walls are adorned with abstract, dark art. I scan the crowd, trying to spot Marianne or anyone who fits the vague description of the man from the photo, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack. My presence attracts a few curious glances, but I keep to the shadows, watching. Suddenly, a hand clasps my shoulder, and I stiffen. I turn to see a woman with striking, angular features and piercing blue eyes. She's dressed in a sleek, black outfit that blends elegance with menace. "You're new," she states, her voice smooth like velvet but with an edge that suggests she's not merely making conversation. "I am. Just exploring," I reply, trying to appear casual. She studies me for a moment, then smiles thinly. "Come with me. I'll show you what Nemesis is really about." Reluctantly, I follow her through the crowd to a secluded area separated by heavy velvet curtains. Inside, the atmosphere changes. The air is charged, the sounds muffled but more intense. The woman gestures to a scene unfolding before us, where masked figures engage in an elaborate performance that blurs the lines between art and something darker. This is the heart of Nemesis. We embrace desires that the outside world shuns. "What's your desire?" she asks, her eyes locked on mine, challenging, probing. I'm about to respond when a commotion at the entrance catches everyone's attention. 2 security guards drag a man through the crowd, his features unmistakable even from a distance. It's the man from the photo with Marianne. My guide notices my distraction and follows my gaze. Trouble with one of the guests, she comments dismissively. But I can't ignore it. This is my chance. I need to see this, I say, more to myself than to her, and start pushing through the crowd towards the unfolding drama. As I approach, I hear fragments of the heated exchange. The man is protesting, claiming some mix-up, but the guards are unyielding. They haul him through a door marked private, and as it swings shut, I catch a fleeting glimpse of fear in his eyes. The woman who brought me here blocks my path. "Not that way," she says, her tone final. I nod, pretending to acquiesce, but my mind is racing. That door, and the man they took through it, hold the answers I need. Tonight, I delve deeper into Nemesis than I ever planned. Whatever it takes, I'm going to uncover the truth about Marianne and this mysterious man. In the underlit hallways of Nemesis, the distant music now sounds like a requiem for my past life. The door marked private that swallowed the mystery man looms ominously at the end of the corridor. With each step I take, my resolve hardens. I need answers, and I need them now. With a deep breath, I push open the door and slip inside, unnoticed by the distracted guards dealing with another unruly guest. The room is dimly lit, the walls adorned with the same haunting, abstract art as the rest of the club. In the center, a circle of chairs faces a large screen displaying live feeds from different areas of the club. My heart skips as I spot him, the man from the photo, tied to a chair, his head hanging low. Before I can step forward, a sharp voice cuts through the dimness. Not wise to wander into private quarters, especially uninvited. I spin around to see the woman with piercing blue eyes standing by the door, her presence commanding. "I need to speak with him," I say, nodding toward the bound man. "He knows something about my wife." Her gaze sharpens. "Marianne, yes. She was quite popular here." Her words sting, the truth slicing deeper than any blade. "What do you mean?" I demand, my voice thick with betrayal and anger. She walks slowly around me, her steps measured. "Marianne came here seeking something you couldn't give her. Excitement. Danger. Freedom. But she wasn't unfaithful, not in the way you think." Confusion clouds my anger. "Explain. Now." "She was an undercover journalist, David. Her investigations into the dark corners of human desires led her here, to Nemesis. She took on a persona, yes, but not to deceive you out of malice." The room spins as her words sink in. Marianne, a journalist? It didn't make sense, yet the stark sincerity in the woman's eyes tells me it's true. I turn back to the man tied up. "And him?" "A source," she replies simply. "But he grew too fond, too risky. He threatened to expose everything out of jealousy." I'm reeling, the floor unsteady beneath me. The entire foundation of my revenge, my hatred, crumbles into dust. "Where is she now?" My voice breaks with a mixture of hope and dread. Gone. After she realized the depth of Nemesis's reach, she erased her tracks, for her safety and yours. Rage and relief war in my chest. I've lost her, truly this time, but not to another man's arms. I was avenging a betrayal that never happened. You won't find her, the woman continues, her voice softer. She left because she loves you, to protect you from this world. The revelation hits me hard, and my knees buckle. The woman steps forward, steadying me. Let her go, David. Live your life. It's what she wants. I nod, hollowed out by the twists of truth. Leaving the room, I don't look back. The screens, the chains, the shadows, they're Marianne's story now, not mine. I walk out of Nemesis, the cold dawn air biting at my skin. I know I'll never see Marianne again. My heart aches with a blend of loss and lingering love, but I respect her choice. As the sun rises over the city, painting the sky with hues of gold and pink, I start my car and drive towards the horizon. The city shrinks behind me, and with it, the shadows of the night. Marianne, wherever you are, be safe. Be free. I forgive you. But for both our sakes, this is goodbye.